22 ethnic nationalities. Now, how do you compete with that number? Because at the end of the day, as the chief rightly pointed out, when it comes to voting, one has to be you have to be far-seeing. You have to look at the voting right from now. So we have to change that. Then we came to the issue of legal framework. Should there be a referendum at the end or not? So we did not recommend, and it is not there in the modalities, that the conclusions will be subjected to the National Assembly. No, sir. We left it, what we recommended was very explicit and very simple. We said, let the National Conference decide. When the people of Nigeria come together, if they say we are going to have a referendum, and advise the president that under chapter 5, section 5, this section 5 of the Constitution, you have the right to convene a national conference without seeking approval from anybody. And I give God praise and thanks that President Goodluck Jonathan has made it look so easy, like hot knife through butter. What he did, he's done a very Herculean thing. You and I are sitting here looking at it, he just passed it, he just announced it. It was not easy. We had threats. I was called on my, if you haven't been to my house the last few days, in front of my house now, you have policemen permanently. It's not just patrols. I've been threatened by governors. It wasn't easy. We just decided that, look, it's got to be done. It's got to be done. And anyway, in my own case, apart from my wife and the family that makes me concerned now, you know, I got married late. Before you come to carry me, Abacha, I'm at home. You come to carry me, Babangida, I'm at home. I don't fear detention. It's nothing new. You know, like the criminals say, I'm not the first time offender. But now I care. now, you know, I have 5 dogs, big, massive dogs in my house, and now I have more police. Because this has become a war. This thing is a war. And the war involves and concerns mainly you. Those of you that are under 40. We fought very hard and we succeeded in making sure that in every nominational group, every group to be nominated, and by the way, every group that has been defined is to nominate its own representatives, no influence by state or federal government. State governments are supposed to nominate, 3 per state. Yes. If what opposition is counting is the fact that it is written there as a caveat that in the event of a state government saying, I will not nominate, we say, okay, Chikena, president or federal government, please nominate for them. One thing at the end of the day we found out is, even those nominations, the president has said, I don't know the people, let the people advise me as to whom they want me to nominate. This is a totally different thing than anything that has happened before. People should start being aware of the facts. It has never been in the history of Nigeria that somebody will put down money even if you say that money is too much. You know, we said our initial recommendation, sir, was that there should be adult suffrage elections. So everybody will be elected. So we gave the presidency, passed it on to INEC and asked Jiga how much will that entail. And Jiga said 23.2 billion. And you will need 4 months to get ready. Now, if 4 months from now, Jiga starts president, to say that that recommendation cannot fly, you guys go and appease, assuage certain powers. Now we came back down to ethno-nationalities, ethno-nationality subgroups, and socio-political groups. And recommendations, we listed groups like Afenifere, OPC, Yoruba Council of Elders, Yoruba Unity Forum, etc. Ohaneze Ndibo, Ikeja, Imeobi, a few that I can remember now. We brought in, but in the end, the president, when he looked at the names, he started from OPC. He said, if you put OPC and you don't put Maso, you are in trouble. And he said, and Maso has been, what was it called? They are seen as a revolution. They've been secessionist. Anyway, the government does not recognize them. It's in fact illegal to belong to Maso, technically speaking. So he said, don't let's list the names. But those groups, those different zones, know the people who are representing them. So those representing them will now convene them into small clusters in the next 2 weeks. Because we've got 21 days to work in. He says within 2 weeks, OPC should be able to meet, Afenifere should be able to meet, Ohaneze should be able to meet, Arewa Consultative Forum should be able to meet, and so on, and be able to throw up representatives which they will nominate to the presidency through the office of the secretary to the government of the federation, and from which, after having been vetted, that was our initial recommendation, the president said no vetting. Once they nominate them, we said some may be crooks. He said a crook is a Nigerian. Once he has been nominated, let him come in. As to who should head the conference as chairman, we had initially recommended that a respected Nigerian head it, a Nigerian of repute, integrity, and respect. But because we thought there was this issue of credibility and trust, nobody trusts the government doesn't trust anybody, the regions don't trust one another. In fact, I don't know, some homes, fathers don't trust their children. So we recommended that a few representatives of certain external or transnational or multinational bodies, they should be brought in as very senior observers. We said there should be a representative of the United Nations scribe, of the African Union, and that in fact a few Africans and others like Kofi Annan, like Tutu and Tony Blair, those were the names you listed. Tony Blair, Bill Clinton, we gave there was a name from Singapore. It was not our man, but there was a name from there. But in the end, because our submission was made to the president, but openly to all the executive council, and the executive council came down and said, no. We are Nigeria, we're big enough to take care of our business, which is one of the biggest problems we always have. We don't know, we don't accept that we don't know. We go around and fumble and wobble, and sometimes we just get through and we say, I think we told you, we know how. So, but I think that this forum, this platform, is a very powerful one, on which I also will, as an independent, we have advised the president as members of the PCND. That task is over. I would like to also lend my voice to Chief Fasheun's voice to call as Executive Secretary of the Nigerian National Summit Group and ask that the presidency considers bringing in an individual of the caliber of Annan, for example, to come in and be either chairman or a senior, very senior observer over the proceedings. Finally, sir, we did not recommend any system. We did not denounce the parliamentary system, nor recommend the presidential system. All we did was say there must be devolution of powers. But then basically, if you really understand what our committee's work was about, we were not supposed to so much bring out our ideas as to reflect the ideas of Nigerians all over. And it was clear Nigerians wanted federalism. It was clear Nigerians wanted to know who is a citizen of Nigeria. It was clear Nigerians wanted to have security, both physical and food. It was clear that Nigerians wanted to know how much of their interests are uppermost in the minds of government. But like I said, one angle I nearly forgot to touch upon is that it was clear that Nigerians are aware that the youths make up the majority of the people today, and that they must be allowed to drive their future, such that the president has agreed that youths will be represented, I think, something like a quarter to a half of the number of the delegates and more than that, there will be online streaming of the conference. There will be interaction of the conference while the conference is going on. There will be interactivity on, I don't know about those kind of things. People like them know about this cyber thing. It's your thing, the youth thing. So they're going to have youths operating it. What he said, let the conference management team be set up, and as soon as the team is set up, one of the things you must set up is the interface with the youths and the generality of the Nigerians. So even when you don't go and sit in Abuja, you are going to be part of the conference through the interface portals.